just fine. No offense to you, don't waste your time. Here's why. Because I'm happy I'm alone. If you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy I'm alone. If you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy I'm alone. If you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy I'm alone.
No, you're supposed to be clapping right now.
Like that's what you want to do. Bring me down, kingdom. Bring me down, love is too. Bring me down, kingdom. Bring me down, I said. Bring me down, kingdom. Bring me down, love is too. Bring me down, kingdom. Bring me down, I said. Well, I should probably warn you, I'll be just fine. No offense to you, don't waste your time. Here's why. Because I'm happy I'm alone. If you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy I'm alone. If you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy I'm alone. If you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy I'm alone.
No, you're supposed to be clapping right now.
Like that's what you want to do. Bring me down, kingdom. Bring me down, love is good. Bring me down, kingdom. Bring me down, I said. Bring me down, kingdom. Bring me down, love is good. Bring me down, kingdom. Bring me down, I said. Because I'm happy I'm alone. If you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy I'm alone. If you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy I'm alone. If you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy I'm alone. If you feel like that's what you want to do. Because I'm happy I'm alone. If you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy I'm alone. If you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy I'm alone. If you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy I'm alone. If you feel like that's what you want to do. Bring me down, kingdom. Bring me down, love is good. Bring me down, kingdom. Bring me down, I said. Because I'm happy I'm alone. If you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy I'm alone. If you feel like happiness is the truth.
That was my whole purpose, I think.
If you know what happiness is to you. I'm happy I'm alone. If you feel like that's what you want to do. Because I'm happy I'm alone. If you
Is everybody feeling a little bit happier right now?
because I'm happy I'm alone. If you feel like happiness is the truth.
Hey, can you guys see me?
If you know what happiness is to you. I'm happy I'm alone. If you feel like that's what you want to do.
Look at this finish out. Oh man, right there. Let me end that real quick. How's everybody doing? I must be doing Body Beast and out of like my cardio routine because I'm breathing hard and I was in here like dancing and clapping. So I'm super excited that you guys are all on this call today. I did hit record about halfway through the happy song. I wanted to catch part of that song on there, so those that didn't make it on here live can see part of that. I'm going to tell just a little bit of my story. There's like so many different parts of people's stories that make somebody who they are. So I'm not necessarily going to talk about my story in the aspect of how I found Beachbody and all that stuff. I'm going to talk about part of my story that lets you guys know who I am. Like, why is Scottie Hobbs Scottie Hobbs? Like, why is he like how he is? If you haven't met me in person yet, I'm extremely shy in person. I'm really quiet. You know, I just went on the top 10 trip. Gabby and I are totally the ones in the room, sitting in the corner, just listening to everybody talking. We're not the talkative, outgoing ones. We're not the life of the party. We're just very mellow, very quiet. That's why all four of our kids are pretty well behaved and quiet because we're extremely quiet and I guess you could say well behaved. So I'm going to share with you guys a little bit of the part of my story about why I am like I am, and I'm super excited. There's like 274 of us on this call. One thing I want to tell you guys right now, if you get something of value out of this call, make sure, because we are a team and a family, make sure that you tell other coaches on the team how great the team calls are. I know that a lot of my success in Team Beachbody has come because I have listened to every single one of these calls from before I started, and the national wake-up calls, I listened to all those before. So if this adds value to you, a good way that you can become a leader, even if you're a brand new coach, is share that with somebody else. Teach them and help them, learn from other coaches just like you're learning right now. So the topic of our call today is happiness precedes success, how to create a culture that cultivates success. We have a very successful team. Lindsay has created an awesome culture in our team that is, we have a lot of very successful coaches, and success for everybody is different. So I want you guys to know that from the beginning as I talk about success today, and I'll help define success in a little bit for you guys. That'll be kind of my goal. But there's, I've been reading, I'm on a quest to read 52 books this year. So if you guys want a Success Leaves Clues tip, successful coaches read a lot of books. So I'm on book, I believe, number 38 right now. I listen to them during my workout, and I read in the morning. And a lot of what I'm going to talk about today is things that I've been taught in my youth from my father and from my grandfather, from mentors and leaders in my life as I was little, but also some of the more scientific things that I'm going to talk about today, or examples, will come from a book called The Happiness Advantage by Sean Anker. So one thing that I was thinking about as I was going to lead into this before I talked a little bit about myself and who I am and why I am like I am is it's not necessarily the reality of our lives, a reality of what's going around us that shapes us, but the lens through which our brain views the world, right? So our brain views the world through a lens, and that's what shapes your reality. So if we can change the lens that you see the world through, not only are you going to change your happiness, but we can change everything about the outcomes in your life, from educational outcomes to business outcomes, all at the same time. So the whole goal here is to help you guys realize that you can change the lens and the way that you look at the world, and therefore it'll cause you to have better results, educational, business results, relationship results. So that's what I'm going to talk about. Real quick, I'm going to touch on the subject of how to create a culture that cultivates success. And to do that, I'm going to lead into a part of my story. The reason I'm so passionate about Beachbody, yes, we have, so those of you that don't know, so when I started as a Beachbody coach, I didn't have enough money to buy my Shakeology. I didn't have enough money to, sign up for the $40 as a coach. So I didn't have internet. I didn't have a smartphone. So I bought and sold things on Craigslist. Like I did P90X, and Lindsay invited me to be a coach, and it took me 8 months to become a coach. 8 months. So I told Lindsay no, 4 times. This isn't for me. No, I'm just going to help people no matter what without signing up. I don't need to sign up for that internet online Beachbody thing you're doing. I'm just going to help people. So that was me. I was helping people already. I loved P90X already. But I was just, I guess you could say I was scared of something new. I'd been a failure, what I would call a failure my whole life. I'd give my heart to things and I would quit. And thinking about that is going back into my story just a little bit. I'm not going to be humble in this aspect, but I would always give 100% to what I did. Let's say I wanted to fit in high school, so a cool thing to do was skateboard. So I would skateboard for 7 hours a night. I would bust my shins up. I would scrape my elbows up. I got splinters that went all the way through my fingers sliding on wooden rails. I would practice for 7 hours straight a night until I could jump over a garbage can. So I always gave when I decided to do something, I always gave 100% to it. So I would do that. And then there came a time when, so I was at a school dance and these guys were talking about this band they were in. And I was like, I always thought it would be cool to be in a band. And I didn't know how to play any instruments. My friend taught me one 5-note line on the bass guitar. And so I learned it, and these guys were talking about this band, and they're like, well, we have a bass player, but he never shows up. He's kind of a flake. And I was like, oh, dude, I could totally play the bass guitar. Because I wanted to fit in, right? I was at this group at this dance. The girl I liked was there. There's all these guys, and I was like, I could play the bass. I'll do it. So all of a sudden I put myself in a situation where, like, crap, I really got to learn how to play the guitar, because they're like, yeah, you could be in the band. So I went there. They actually found out I really couldn't play, but they were willing to teach me and mentor me, right? And so I would get home from school, and I would sit down, and I would play my guitar for like 6 hours straight until I learned the songs. And so I've always been that person. Like, when I want something, I'll just sit down and I'll do it until I get it down. And you know, you do suck at the beginning when you're trying to do anything. You have to be a failure at it before you can become great at anything in life. So that's kind of how I've been. Unfortunately, like, when I got into I played the guitar since I was like 14. I got into a band in a crowd in my early 20s that was not a good crowd. And of course, my mentality, I always wanted to fit in, like I said. So I tried to fit in the wrong crowd, which was this music scene, which led to me becoming an extreme alcoholic and a coke addict. So I became addicted to cocaine. I drank every single day, and the whole lifestyle that goes along with being, I guess you could say, a rock star. We played like 2 shows a week, and that was my lifestyle. And I did it to fit in. I felt really cool. I'll be honest. That's how I felt. And I distanced myself from my family, from those that really cared about me, from my church and all that. And I was 100%, just like everything else. I was all in with that stuff. So I felt like I fit in. So that's just what I wanted to hit on real quick is that's how I've been in my past. So when I decided, like, when I found out about P90X, and there's a whole story that could go into all my whole journey with P90X and the 8 months leading up to be a coach. But the thing that I want to share with you guys is that I started doing it. I started doing P90X, and I did the selfie thing, like, I had abs for the first time in my life. That helped me, someone like me that struggled with that to fit in, it's really just, I had self-esteem issues. So to overcome self-esteem issues, I did things. I had my ears pierced, had the gauged earrings, I had a lip ring. I dyed my hair black with the red streak, rock star status, and I did all that stuff to fit in. So the time came when I did P90X, and I got abs, and people were like, dude, what are you doing? And all I did was just say, hey, I'm doing P90X. I wasn't a coach. I'm doing P90X. You should do it. They did P90X, and they start getting results with it, and they write me messages like, dude, thank you so much. I'm on 2nd week, and I feel so great. So light bulb comes on in my head. This is my way to fit in that is healthy. It's my healthy way to fit in. So I absolutely fell in love with helping people. I fell in love with helping people get results, getting messages that are like, Scottie, thanks for, introducing me to P90X, or thanks for those tips on nutrition. That really helped me. It really helped me change some things, and I haven't been drinking soda for a month now, and I feel great. So these were the kind of messages I was getting, and it was like, I was in love with, I was addicted to it. Like, I could not wait to open up my Facebook after work and be like, to see who was writing messages, who was asking questions. And because I was craving that, I would start blogging. I would start making videos. I would post things on Facebook. And I was like fueled by knowing that I could help people. Because one thing, if you struggle with self-esteem, if I can relate with any of you guys right now, is that when you struggle with self-esteem, the way to overcome that is to give to other people. When you help somebody else, it increases the value that you feel in yourself, because you feel like you're valuable to somebody. So talking about that and how to create a culture of success is, I was on the Elite Top 10 trip last week with Melanie and Lindsay, and I was sitting at dinner in Siena, and I was sitting next to Carl at the dinner table, and we were talking about some things, and I was asking Carl about his struggles, like what was the most exciting part about your career, what was the hardest part, and I was asking him about these things, and I was like, hey Carl, I just want to say thank you. Like, my life has completely changed. Like, you have no idea, like, this is a blessing, and thank you for doing this, and thank you for creating this for us. And the cool thing I liked is he like pushed that away. He's like, don't thank me. He's like, you guys are doing it. Your team's doing it. Lindsay's doing it. All these coaches in here are doing it. It's them that are doing it. And I love that humbleness about him, about giving credit to the team, to Team Beachbody in general, for his success and for Team Beachbody. But I was sitting there, I was like, you know, Carl, I was like, you don't have to worry about me. Like, I'm always going to be here as a leader in this company, because I want you to know that I've always tried to fit in. Like in life, I've always tried to fit in, and it wasn't in a healthy way. Like me doing drugs and that music scene, it wasn't a healthy thing. But I was doing that to fit in, and I was like, now you've created something where I feel like I can fit in. And he said something to me that was a complete light bulb that I wanted to share with you guys, and why I have on here how to create a culture that cultivates success. Is Carl said to me, he's like, Scottie, no, like, I don't want you to just look at this as a way to fit in, because if you're looking for a way to fit in, the next time something comes along that you feel like you could fit in, you'll jump to the next thing, and that's not what we want. I think your story, what you're sharing with me right now, is you need to tell people that it's okay to not have to fit in, that in Team Beachbody, you just get to be you and be the best you that you can every day, and that's what we're about. You don't have to fit in at Team Beachbody. You don't have to fit in any way in this company. You just have to be the best you and help other people realize that they don't have to fit in life anymore, that they can just be a part of Team Beachbody and be the best. I'm going to name people here. Be the best Desiree. Be the best Lauren, right? And I was like, oh, that's so amazing. Like, that's so true. I never thought of it like that. So I want you guys to know that this is a culture, and what I want to create with my team and our team is that we don't have to fit in. We just have to be the best individual person that we can be, and create happiness and plant those seeds into other people. So that's what I want to share with you guys about my trip. That was probably the biggest takeaway I had from that Elite Top 10 trip. But going in, I'm gonna switch this screen here over to talking about the happiness precedes success part. I want you guys to know a little bit about me. Like yeah, I've always tried to fit in, and you know, in that whole part, you just got that part and learned a little bit about me in that aspect. But yeah, be weird. You got to be weird. So I'm going to teach you guys, like, so some of you guys right now may already have this, and some people don't. And you have to remember that everybody in Team Beachbody in life is in a different leg of the race, and you're all running your own race. So PMA, positive mental attitude. This is something that my dad taught me since I was young. And I put these pictures up. This is my dad just a couple days ago on the top left holding my daughter. Just a smiling, I mean, he's exhausted. He played with all 6 of his grandkids all day long in the sun. So he's exhausted, but he's still got that smile on his face because he's happy in that moment. He's holding his granddaughter who's passed out, and he's happy. And you can just see that coming out of him. In the bottom, you see him there with my son camping out in the wilderness, looking down at him, smiling. Doesn't even know I'm taking a picture, but he's just showing, you can just see he's happy. He's smiling. And then down here, just being him, being weird with my nephew. He's got these big goofy glasses on at a Boy Scout event. You know, just creating happiness, just having fun. So he's always been that person. He taught me positive mental attitude. And like, he was my Boy Scout leader. Not only a great father, but a Boy Scout leader. So what I'm talking about now is maybe you don't have a positive mental attitude yet. Maybe you don't know how to create happiness every single day right now, but just know that that's something that you can decide. And I'm going to give you a takeaway at the end of this call. If you don't have that yet, you can begin to start that right now. Luckily, I was taught that from an early age, and so I've had that. But he taught me, like, if you get lost in the wilderness, you know, Boy Scout leader, if you get lost in the wilderness, or I'm a hunting and fishing guy, if you get lost, if you panic, get scared, get stressed out, start running, let your emotions go wild, you're going to die if you're out alone in the wilderness. And the only way to stay alive in a situation like that is to remain calm and have a positive mental attitude, to choose to have a positive outlook on what's going to happen. So luckily, my whole life, I've had a positive mental attitude thanks to him and my grandfather. So I wanted to let you guys know that that's something that I've had for a long time. So if you don't have that yet, we're going to teach you guys how to create that. So we're going to talk about Team Beachbody for a little bit, right? So our job is very simple. I'm not even going to talk about how to build a Team Beachbody business right now, because everything you need is in the coach training office on how to build a Team Beachbody business, how to run challenge groups, how to train your coaches, all that stuff's there. So I'm going to talk about the basics, okay? The basics are, and I'm going to teach you guys to be happy while you're doing it, because one thing I talk to my coaches about, a lot of you guys aren't in my direct downline, is that your success in Beachbody, and this is a number I made up just from what I've seen in the past 3.5 years. Your success is really 15% technical data. 15% how well you run your challenge groups, how well you know how to recruit coaches, how well you know how to run a coach training group, how well you know how to do a getting started right call. 15%, that stuff. 85% of your success is going to be, are you showing up daily excited, happy about life, and have a clear vision and written down goals, and then you just talk to people and tell people what you're doing, and you invite them to do what you're doing. That's all it is. It's that simple. So if it's that simple and you're talking to people, you run into someone in the store, or you're reaching out to 2 new people a day or 5 new people a day on your Facebook. I'm going to switch over to this next page here. Which guy do you want to talk to? I'm going to let you guys look at that for a minute. So the one on the left is me, and it's actually on the top 10 trip, right? And on the right is me as well. So if you ran into these 2 guys at Walmart, which guy are you going to want to talk to? The one on the left or the one on the right? And why? I'm going to go slow on this part because I want you to think about this. So the guy on the right and the guy on the left are the exact same guy, right? That's me. I'm on the left. I look reserved. I look closed. I have a frown. And on the right, bright, shiny eyes, excited around my family. I look relatable. People want to talk to you. So you have to understand this part. So on the right, I'm exuding happiness. I'm exuding joy. On the left, I look closed. I look upset, right? And I'll tell you guys, like, so you guys can understand me, because some of you guys may be like me, is like that one on the left, I was on the trip of a lifetime, right? That's a trip of a lifetime. I was in Italy, and that picture was taken when I wasn't looking, and it was first thing in the morning, before I worked out, before I had my Shakeology and my endurance, before I read a positive book. And I want you guys to know that I don't wake up smiling like that on the right. Like, I am naturally, when I wake up, like the guy on the left. That's how I feel when I wake up. So I have to create happiness. I have to create joy. And then I have to pass that out and share it with other people, and pass that on to other people. So so that's how I am when I wake up versus after I've been able to create that. So before I work every single day, like I have a list of 10 things I do every day. I don't do my list when I look like that on the left. I have to read, or I have to work out until I feel like that on my right. And even just wrestling around with my kids, laughing, tickling them, I get into that mood, I get into that happy spot, and then I can go out and I can start helping people. So you have to create happiness. You have to realize and look honestly at yourself when you're talking to someone. What are you portraying? Because no matter if you're writing or talking in person, people can read you through your words and through how you talk. So make sure that you are exuding that happiness. And here's one thing where society and people in general are mixed up, where we're all sorts of backwards in society. And I know you guys have heard this before, and maybe some of you guys have said it yourself. I'll be happy once I get a promotion. I'll be happy once I get that new job. I'll get happy once that coworker leaves. I'll be happy once my spouse becomes better. I'll be happy once I get that raise. I'll be happy once I graduate. I'll be happy once I retire. I'll be happy once it's the weekend. I'll be happy once I'm a diamond coach. I'll be happy once I hit Success Club. There's all these things like I'll be happy once. And this is where we're so backwards in society, right? In general, not just with Team Beachbody coaching, but just like Jen shares right there, you have to be happy in the moment. Because here's the problem. I put a goalpost there because if you're looking for happiness at a certain level or a certain outcome or a certain rank, then once you get there, you're no longer happy. You're going to be searching for the next thing. What you do in your life is you constantly move the goal line back and you're never happy. I'll be happy once I pay off my house. I'll be happy once I have no debt. I'll be happy once I get my dream car. The clapping, right? So if you do that, you're never going to be happy because once you get to that point, you're looking for the next thing that's going to make you happy. So you have to decide right now what happiness is. And I'm going to skip forward to this slide. I'll come back to it later. This is what happiness is. Happiness, and this is a photo I took on the top 10 trip, by the way. Photo credit, Scottie Hobbs. Happiness is the joy we get when striving for our potential. So why am I so happy doing this team call for you guys? Why am I so happy doing my daily list every day, talking to people, getting no's all day long? I'm happy because that I know that's my purpose, and my joy is derived from knowing that I'm doing my purpose. Because I'll tell you, I've had some extremely hard times in this business. I'll be honest, I've been a 7-star diamond for over a year. I had 9 new diamonds last year, and only 7 of them remain diamond, and some of them are working back towards their diamond now. Everybody could look at that as a failure or a huge setback, but I don't look at it like that. I look at it like, okay, what did I do wrong? How can we change that? I'm happy today because I know that I'm living my purpose and I'm doing the best that I can do, that Scottie Hobbs can do, and I have no control over outside circumstances. I have no control over who says yes, who says no. I have no control over who pulls through and does what they say they're going to do and who doesn't. But I have control over knowing if I know my purpose and if I'm going to show up happy and excited and live my purpose and be the best person that I could be every single day. And what I want you guys to know is you cannot compare yourself. I'm going to show some pictures here of some successful business success coaches. It's hard to read. We got Lindsay, Mattway, myself, and Brigitte Linford. I'm going to show these successful coaches, but you guys, we can't relate ourselves to Lindsay or to Brigitte or to myself or to Brittany Leggett or any of these coaches because you know what, guys? God created each of us individually, and I know that he didn't, when he was up there making the mold for Lindsay and for Scottie and for Tammy and for Amy and Nicole and for Tiara, he didn't say, you know what, I'm going to make Scottie just a little bit better than Tiara. I'm going to make Lindsay just a little bit better than Scottie and Brittany. God didn't create us like that. He created us all equal, and he created us with different strengths and weaknesses. So your job's not to be Lindsay Mattway, and your job's not to be Scottie Hobbs. Your job is to be the best you that you can be every single day. Your job is to know, identify, find out what your purpose and vision is for your life, and then become the best that you can be every single day, and not look at what everybody else around you is doing. So I want to share with you guys how these successful coaches portrayed happiness before the success came. And I'm going to have to zoom way in here because I'm a little bit blind still with my surgery I had and this wording's small. But Lindsay says this is Lindsay before I became a coach. This is 5 months before I became a coach. So she'd been a coach for about just over half a year. She was not successful yet. I guarantee she was making like $200 a week. And barely, maybe not even a diamond coach yet. And this is what she says. And this is when I was telling her, no, I don't want to sign up as a coach with you. This is her Facebook wall. And I'm doing this to show you examples of happiness before success. Sorry. Says, another early morning, just too excited about life right now to sleep any of it away. I can feel the hand of God on my back leading me to all the right people and places, like I'm on a guided tour of my life's greater purpose. And what an incredible journey it is now that I have surrendered the reins of my life to him. So Lindsay was posting that as a brand new coach. She's like portraying happiness out to the world before any success in her Team Beachbody business. Okay, that's even when I'm telling her, no, Lindsay, I'm not going to be a coach. That's a scam. She's out there doing that. And you know why I signed up with her? Because I watched her live that happy lifestyle, and I wanted that happy lifestyle. And once I realized that I wanted what she had, because I saw her consistent at that, that's when I went all in with this. So here's a post of mine. Before I became a Diamond Coach, I'm brand new. Today, you will have many opportunities to change your life for the better. It'll be simple decisions like eating salmon and broccoli over burger and fries, getting a quick workout rather than watching the news, saving $1 rather than spending one. And no, they won't transform your life by tomorrow, but if done consistently, there are choices that make up your future, so choose wisely. These are posts that we're doing before we're ever successful with Team Beachbody coaches. We're out adding value and sharing value and giving that happiness to people. Brigitte's is going to be really hard to read here. Let me see if I can make hers bigger. Brigitte says, last night, this is Brigitte, April. She's not even been a coach for 3 weeks, right? Brand new coach. And Brigitte, she's number 10 in the company, 15-star diamond. And this is what she's saying at 2 weeks in the business, 3 weeks in the business. Last night, we took a family bike ride over to Shamrock Park to check out the house I grew up in and the neighborhood park that I spent hours playing at. It made my heart swell with emotions to watch my kids ride their bikes down the same hill I rode down as a child. Such a simple thing, really, and yet it was one of those moments where I was overwhelmed with gratitude. I am grateful, very, very grateful for the life I have and for my husband and 3 little kids. Life is good. So, what do you guys notice about those? These are coaches that are not successful. These are, a lot of you guys on this call, I'm looking through it, are brand new coaches. Happiness comes before success. Happiness comes before success. Happiness precedes success. So I'm going to talk about something. So maybe some of you guys don't feel that happiness right now, and I'm going to teach you how to do that. We're going to talk about something called the Tetris effect. How to turn a negative mindset into a positive mindset. So I'm going to talk about this. Like, I don't watch the news. I don't read the newspaper. I mean, I grabbed a newspaper. We were riding business class to Paris. They came by with a newspaper and breakfast. Like, one newspaper. I picked it up. The first page, I was disgusted. I was disgusted because there's like 5 articles on there, and I was depressed. So I folded it up and I put it away because it made me sick, because it was fueling me with negativity. And for the past 3.5 years, or my whole life, we'll say, I've been fueling my mind with positive things. So that's what happens is everything in the news is negative. Everything, people around you are talking negative. People gossip about each other. They talk about this person's doing that, this company's doing that, someone's doing that, this part of the company's going bad, that person's doing this, there's a war over here, the economy's doing bad here, they may cut back here. Everything's negative. And what happens is in our mind, that lens I talked about in the beginning of this call, that lens that we see the world through, our lens is distorted. And what we think of as the ratio of negatives to positives in this world seems like there's 8 negatives to every 1 positive, and we spiral downward into a negative mindset. And when you do that, you're not going to attract anybody into your life because nobody wants to be around a negative person. Just like I took that newspaper and shoved it to the side, if you have any bit of negativity in you, those people you're talking to that you're forming are going to roll you up like that newspaper and shove you off to the side. The minute they sense any negativity in your life, whether you say it or not, they can feel that. That stuff transfers through the universe, right? So think of it like that. Think of every time you have a negative thought, even a thought, not anything you say, but a negative thought, think of it as Scottie grabbing that newspaper and shoving it to the side. Like, game over for you. I don't want anything to do with that business you're doing. Negative is coming from you. I don't want a part of that. So I'm going to teach you guys how to change that negative mindset into a positive mindset. And it's as simple as training your mind. And like the Tetris effect. So if you sit down and play Tetris, it's an extremely addicting game. I don't play games much, but if you play Tetris, it's like the rectangle starts coming down. Immediately, you're scanning the bottom lines of where to put it. and you flip it and you know where to get it. And then the next one comes, immediately your mind scans the next lines and you know where to put it. And bam, before you know it, without even thinking, your mind's scanning and you're doing the game without too much thought. Your mind's automatically scanning the lines on where it's going to fit in. So the cool thing is that happens in our life as well. And the kind of cool thing about if you play Tetris for like 3 hours, and if you're doing that, by the way, you're not working really on your business or you don't care about your business. But if you were to do that, and let's say you go out and start driving and there's like trees standing up, you know, like a line of trees, or there's like sky-rise buildings, in your mind, you're like trying to see those buildings. You're like, I wonder if that building laid down, it'd fit in between those two buildings. Or if that tree like was sideways, you could fit in there. Like your mind immediately starts scanning the environment to fit pieces together, like on that Tetris game. It's a crazy effect that happens. But the same thing happens like, I'll tell you guys. So I bought my wife a brand new Buick Enclave for her birthday. And for supporting me in this this crazy beach body thing I did. So she got this brand new Buick Enclave a couple months ago in May. And I never saw a Buick Enclave. I didn't even know what it was. I was set on buying a Honda Pilot. My wife did all these reviews online, and she's like, Enclave, it's like the #1 rated luxury SUV. So I researched it. I went and drove it, and I was in love with it, and I bought it for her. And I'd never seen one before. Now that we have one, I freaking see 10 of those things a day, right? Because I've identified that, I focused on it, and now I see them everywhere. You can do the same thing. If you go for a drive tonight or tomorrow you go for a drive, I want you to pick a color, and when you drive, you're going to see 10 times as many red cars as you normally see, or 10 times as many white cars as you normally see. So how can we take all of this information like this right here and turn it into your mindset and changing the way your mind works into identifying positive things versus seeing all the negative things. And here's the #1 thing. I'm going to make sure I don't have this at the end. Okay, so what we're going to do is write a note right now, because you have to do something. If you're serious about this and you want to create a positive mindset, I need you guys to go buy a journal right now if you don't have one. It could be a notebook or it can be a journal. So I'm slowing down because you guys need to write this down. So you need to buy, it's going to be we're going to call it your gratitude journal. Because when you're grateful, when you show gratitude towards everything in life, you're happy. So we'll call it your gratitude journal. So this is how I'm going to relate the Tetris effect to this journal that we're going to be doing. So what you need to do is going to be a really cool. It's going to blow your mind, because it's going to change your business if you apply it. And I don't say change your business right away, because people have to watch this change happen in you. So first, #1, the change has to happen in you. #2, you have to teach this change to other people around you. #3, they're going to see that change in their life and see you stay consistent in it. And then they're going to be excited about that Beachbody thing that you have, right? You guys all have a Beachbody business. Am I correct? So, and the Beachbody business is simple. So I'm teaching you guys this part of it, because this is what's going to make people sign up with you. So this is how it's going to work. In your gratitude journal, every morning when you wake up, I need you guys to spend 5 minutes in complete solitude, giving gratitude for the things you have in your life. I need you to think of every single day I need you to scan your memory. Write down these notes so you know what you're going to do. I want you to forget. So in the morning, if you wake up at 6 and you're going to do your personal development or whatever, 6 o'clock to 6:05, you're going to scan your memory of the last 24 hours, and you're going to write down 3 things that made you happy or that you're grateful for. I'm going to scan my mind right now and tell you. My babies are screaming in the background right now. 3 things I'm grateful for right now, if I scan my mind. I'm grateful that when my son fell off the stairs in the backyard this afternoon and cut his chin, that I was home. I didn't have a job. I was home and able to wash his little bloody chin off and put a Band-Aid on him and cuddle him on the couch for a half hour. I'm grateful for that. Another thing I'm grateful for the fact that my wife deep cleaned in the kitchen today and it looks amazing. I'm grateful that I had 2 hours last night to spend watching a movie with my wife with no kids. So those are 3 things that I'm grateful for. So I would write those 3 things in my journal, right? So what you're going to do is every single morning you're going to scan your past 24 hours, write down 3 things that you're grateful for or 3 things that made you happy. And do that every single day. What that is going to do is it's going to train your mind, because the minute you start doing that, you're training your mind to scan for the good things in your life. And what that's going to do is subconsciously throughout the day, just like how I see a Buick Enclave all the time. I see them all the time now that I look for them and I see them. So what this is going to do is your mind is going to subconsciously begin to scan for positive things, because the next day you're going to want to know what you're going to write down. So instead of your mind scanning for and identifying the negative things happening in your life right now, you're going to scan and identify the positive things that are happening in your life. When you do that, you're going to have more gratitude, which is going to create more happiness, which is going to give you a more positive mindset. All the activity that we teach you, you can do the 10 things every single day, but if you don't have a positive mindset, you are not going to have the same positive result. You can do the same activity, do the same conversations I have with a negative mindset, and I do it with a positive, and we're going to have completely opposite results. Okay? So that is the Tetris effect. That is one of your assignments. So make sure that you begin to do that if you're serious about attracting great people into your life. So I'm going to come back to this slide right here. Yeah, Pejman, if you just go to my website, coachscottiehobbs.com, and hit the search bar, 10 things daily, it'll pop up. I have a video. I can also post it with a recording of this call. I'll actually post the recording. I post all the recordings of these calls in my blog under Coach Training Team Call Recordings. So I'll put this team call recording, and then I'll put that. So here we go. Here's this quote again. Happiness is the joy we get when striving for our potential. So one of the things that I teach my coaches, right, we're trying to create how to create a culture of success. How to create a culture of success in your business. So here's what I do, guys. I tell my coaches from the beginning, like, yes, you want to get Emerald, Diamond, 1-star Diamond, Elite, you want Success Club. Those are all results, right? Those are all results from doing the mindset stuff we're talking about right now, and the activity, the result follows. Got to remember that, like, a farmer can't go harvest a crop if he didn't plant the seeds. So this is what I teach my coaches from the beginning, and a lot of my coaches on here, so I'm proud of you guys. Woo, woo. And I'm proud of everybody else that's on here. One thing that I teach them that I want you guys to know is that success is not rank or your income or your status or your level of financial success. Success is knowing your purpose and creating this joy or this happiness. And this happiness is this joy that we get when striving for our potential every single day. That's success. Yes, I want you to hit Success Club, but I could care less if you sold the challenge pack today or you signed a coach, because that's not success. Right? Success is doing the activity and knowing your purpose. Success is you're on this call surrounding yourself with positive people, solidifying your vision for your life, your goals, surrounding yourself with positive people, learning to better yourself. That's success. You guys are successful right now. You guys are successful coaches because you're doing the activity that will create results, right? So that's why, yeah, it sucks sometimes that I'm still a 7-star diamond, but that doesn't determine how successful I am. I'm successful today because I woke up, I discovered, realized, re-hit on my purpose, the clarity of my vision that I want for my life, prayed about what I should do today, and I did the things that create joy in my life, which is answering messages, which is adding value to other people. So I'm a successful coach. I didn't sell a challenge pack today, right? But I was successful because I understood my purpose and I found joy in doing the activity. So many times, I'm going to get a little bit strict with you guys right now. I get messages, not from our team, but from other teams, and sometimes from our team, of people that say, I'm in a rut, or my business is not going good, or I'm really struggling right now. No, your business isn't struggling. No, your business is not in a rut. You're not clear on your vision, and you're not finding joy and happiness in doing the activity. You're expecting a result and you're not finding joy and happiness in the activity. And like, don't let Carl Deichler hear this, but I would totally cut my pay by 50 and make like $20,000 a year and have no debt and have complete freedom to be with my kids and do calls like this. Like, I would take that cut if I had to. I would still be happy because I'm doing the thing that brings happiness. Being $1 million earner in Beachbody is not going to make me happy. That money is not going to make me happy. I'm going to be happy because I enjoy what I do every single day. So for those of you that say you're struggling in your business or you're in a rut, you guys have to get clear with your vision, and you have to learn to create happiness in your life by getting joy out of doing your best to live your potential every single day. When you do that, you're going to attract people in your life. Talking with all the top 10 coaches on the team on that trip, I talked to some of them, and seriously, they were like, like, I don't even know where these people come from. Like, I'm just doing my thing, and I'm excited about life, and I'm sharing about my life. And the more I share about my life and my struggles, the more people come, and I don't know where they're coming from. And it's like, I don't know how it's happening, and then here I am, top 10. And it's because they stopped worrying about all that stuff, and they just were the best person that they could be every single day and shared their life with people. So realize that. I'm going to say it over and over again. Happiness is the joy you get from striving for your potential. And you can take out happiness and you can put success right there. Success is the joy you get from striving for your potential every single day. Okay, I'm done on that page. I've totally preached that page like a mother. Nicole asked a question there. I'm going to answer it. How do we strike a balance between keeping our social media really positive and sharing struggles? You can share your struggles, but you always have to like turn the positive. Like, I could totally say, oh man, it really, like, I'm really struggling. Like right now, it really sucks. I just had surgery on my eye and it hurts to look at my computer screen, and I'm really having a hard time doing my job. It's really hard, right? I just wish this will be done quick. And this is over in a couple months. I'm sick of it, right? That's sharing a struggle. Or I could be like, hey, you know what? Like, for a minute, I was feeling a little bit down on myself when I realized that I had a degenerative disease of my cornea, and I realized that my vision was going out and I had to have surgery. And it's, I work on a computer all day, and it's been really hard for me. And I was getting down on myself and letting that destroy my happiness. And then I was reading one day in a book called A Purpose-Driven Life about living my purpose and knowing that, there's going to be struggles and trials that come into my life that I may not understand at the moment, but that God gives me so that I can become stronger and that I can overcome that and help people. So I'm really excited right now that I get to go through this struggle, because I know that as I do that, I can help somebody else. Right? So I just took a complete struggle and I shared it in an inspiring way versus just a bummer, I'm having a struggle type of way. So you can put a positive spin on it. So moving on, I hope that answered the question all right. So here's the result. This is kind of the result that's going to happen when you guys create this, we'll call it a happiness advantage. Some of you guys asked, and I saw someone put the link, but so 7 principles of positive psychology that fuel success and performance at work. The Happiness Advantage by Sean Anker. Amazing book, by the way. So here's some of the results that's going to happen when you can have a positive mindset and create happiness every single day. You're going to have, and let me hear a yes if these numbers excite you about your life, in your relationships, in your business, and everything else. So 23% when you create this positive mindset by doing this Tetris effect, this happiness gratitude journal, 23% have less stress. 39% have increased health. 31% more productive. Guys, do you realize that if you're someone that sells, let's say you're somebody that recruits 2 coaches a month and you do 31% better, you're almost going to like double your numbers? 31% more productive. And 39% more social connections. And I think that's the most important one because, I mean, that's close to 50% more social connections. What is Team Beachbody about? When you have a conversation with somebody, it's a social connection with somebody that makes them want to join you and Team Beachbody. 50%, it's 40%, guys. If you can create this happiness, you're going to have 40% more better, awesome social connections. When you have a better social connection with somebody, they're going to be like, dude, Scottie, what's that Beachbody thing you're doing? Like, I'm super excited. I see what you're doing. Can you tell me how to do that? So those are going to be the results you're going to have. And this is outside of Beachbody, but what this happiness advantage creates in people is better secure jobs, better at keeping jobs, superior productivity, more resilient, less burnout, less turnover, greater sales. Let me hear a yes if that's what you need in your life and business right now. Right? That's what I like to hear. So those are the results that you guys are going to have, guys. Like, I'm happy to be on this call. I'm happy about life. You know, today, I'll be straight up honest with you guys. My kids were little devils today. Like, I had to go out 2 times and I had to sit them on the couch, all 4 of them lined up, and have a conversation with them about how we act in our house because they're screaming at each other, pulling each other's hair. And, you know, for a minute, I wasn't happy. And I was working, and I was like, man, now I'm not happy. How am I going to work? So I took a time out from my job. I went out there. We had a conversation. Then we wrestled around. We played. We talked. We laughed. We tickled each other. And we created happiness in our home. And then I went out and worked with that happiness coming out from me right there. So it's something that you have to work on and you have to create every single day. So moving on to the next and last page here. I'm going to share that in just a minute. But I want you guys to know that, like, I am like the most normal guy in the world. It's like, and some of my coaches, I have like 30 coaches coming in like 11 days out to Salt Lake City of mine. My personally sponsored coaches coming out to this mansion that we rented for a team retreat. And they're going to find out that I'm like going to be quiet. I'm going to be sitting on the couch and like super quiet, super mellow. But the one thing they will find out about me is that I'm a happy guy, that, you know, there's not really much in life that's going to upset me. And, you know, it's something I've had to create. And my wife, she hears about this all the time, but, you know, it's like I give her the cardboard box speech, right? So, so, you know, sometimes my wife will get upset about something, or somebody will get upset, or my kid will be upset, and I'm like, you know what? Like, we have it pretty good. Like, you have to realize we could be living in a cardboard box under a bridge, like scrounging around from food. We got to be happy with what we have. We got to be grateful for what we have. Like, I always have that mindset, like, of you have to be happy with what you have, and look at everything positive. And it's like, when you do that, guys, life is so much better. Like, stop being so bummed about everything. Juliana and Paul, we're going to probably do that one like once a year, and we'll talk about that in the team page, but I'll do a team retreat